mutations and the natural colds or whatever, you have to look at it and consider it poison. No one will put poison in his mouth, in his body. So you will avoid it. وَمُخَالَطَةُ النَّاسِ كَالنَّارِ. And so much socializing like fire. So much getting involved with people is fire at the end of the time, at the bottom line. Because most people will not benefit you. That's the sad story and the sad fact that most people will eat your time and will kill your time. Most people will not be talking, and most people when they socialize, they are not talking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are not talking about their purpose. So in other words, they are killing your time. Because you try to be beyond that. You try to... So if you spend too much time around people, maybe they will talk about Allah, about their purpose for some time. But most of the time it's not. If we were outside the masajid, the way we are inside the masajid, we will be at this level. But we're not. You see the one of us inside the masjid, MashaAllah, Subhanallah, Quran, Akhlaq, manners, قال Allah, قال Rasuluh. Great. We are not like that outside the masjid. We're not. That's the fact. That means if you are not like that, you are not doing your purpose. As a result, you need to cut down on that. So that's why when I see someone that I know if I stand with him, he will not remind me of Allah. And if I try to remind him of Allah, he will not listen. So from far I will imagine him as a piece of fire. If I get close to him, he's gonna burn me. And that's the fact. If he doesn't talk about Allah, you're going to be talking most probably backbiting and namima and ghiba, and that is fire that will eat your good deeds. So be aware. وَالْغِذَاء كَالدَّوَاء. And food, remember they make nawafil like fara'id, and shahawat like sum, and ma'asi like kufr, sins like kufr, desires like poison, and مخالطة الناس كالنار, and too much over socializing, because it's important to socialize with people. It's important to talk to people, especially the Muslims. It's important, but there are limits. And then at the end, وَالْغِذَاءُ كَالدَّوَاء. And food, make food like medicine. No one likes to take medicine. So you take medicine because you have to. Unless it's baby medicine. They put so much sugar in it. Before, when we were little, we remember we used to cry when we had to take some medicine. Today you get the medicine for the baby and more. She wants more. Actually, she brings the bottle, even if she doesn't need it. Yeah, flavors and sweeteners and all that. But usually medicine is bitter. No one likes medicine. So food, you want to consider it like that. Because food makes you lazy. And if you're lazy, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. So all come back and boils back to the same ish. That is my purpose. That's why these people were like the way they are. That's why they didn't care about anything. As long as it doesn't remind them of Allah, they didn't care about it. They weren't afraid of armies and weapons and powers and numbers. They didn't care. Because they knew exactly what they want. They live for Allah. They wait to die so they meet the one they love. So why would they afraid to be killed? If that is the way that's going to bring them to their love. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. قل عبد القادر الجيلاني لغلامه. عبد القادر الجيلاني, one of أئمة أهل السنة. And forget about those Sufiya and Qadiriya and all these groups and Tariqa and Naqshbandi and all these nonsense, and they claim to be followers of this man. This man minhum bara. This man has nothing to do with them, and if he was here today, he will be the first one to criticize them and maybe fight them. Just like Ali bin Abi Talib. If he was alive today, he will be the first one to fight the Shia, those who claim that they love him. It's the fact. You can go and call my father back in Jordan and complain. That's what happened. I gave a khutbah one time in one of the masajid, and I made dua for the people of Sunnah in Iraq. 2 hours later, I get a call from my father in Jordan that the Shia are complaining about you, why you didn't make dua for them. So don't make dua like that anymore. I have to obey him. But he told me not to make dua, so I understood it in that masjid. Alright, Charlie. سيقول عبد القادر الجيلاني, like Ibn Taymiyyah رحمه الله, he said, this is عبد القادر الجيلاني, one of أئمة أهل السنة, يقول لغلامه, يعني one of his servants, لا يكن همك ما تأكل وما تشرب وما تلبس وما تنكح وما تسكن وما تجمع، كل هذا هم النفس والطبع، فأين هم القلب؟ همك ما أهمك، فليكن همك ربك عز وجل وما عنده. Very simple. He says, don't make your concern what you eat, what you drink, what you wear, who you marry, where you live, and what you collect. He said, all these are the concerns of the self, of the body. Then he says, where are the concerns of the heart? همك ما أهمك. Usually what concerns you is what's important to you. If something is not important, you will not be concerned about it. You won't even care. So usually when you're concerned about something, about someone, about an issue, because you care, because it's important. So he said, فَلْيَكُنْ هَمُّكَ اللَّهَ عَزَّ وَجَلَ. So if this is the right understanding, that what concerns you is what's important to you, then make sure that what you're concerned about is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and what He has for you. Alright? Very simple. No explanation. So those people, because of the lack of time, because they didn't have free time, because they understood well their purpose, they did not even have time for, as I said, for al-mubah, for what's permissible. Because this is one of the ways of shaitan. Shaitan, if he cannot get you in shirk, if he cannot get you in kufr, if he cannot get you in the bid'ah, if he cannot make you forget about your obligations, he will get you busy with al-mubah. He will get you busy with what's permissible. Usually al-mubah kills the heart, makes it lazy. Because usually al-mubah is easy, no effort. So now when you're about to do something that is not mubah, might be an obligation, a wajib, you have to make some effort. But al-mubah, like eating, what effort you're making to eat? What effort you're making to drink? What effort you're making to play? That is mubah. So when you are so indulged into this, and maghmus يعني, then you become lazy. That's why munafiqeen are lazy. Because they are so indulged. Forget about al-haram, in the mubah. That's why if they are told to pray, وَلَا يَقُومُونَ إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ إِلَّا كُسَالًا وَلَا يَقُومُونَ إِلَّا كُسَالًا. Lazy. And even when they stand up to pray, they're lazy. And even when they pray, يُرَاءُونَ النَّاسِ. Show off. They pray to show off. They pray to preserve their blood. They pray so they can say Muslim. So they can get, when the Muslims benefit, they can give. And usually when the Muslims are harmed, they stay away.